showtime. Dynamite Download.
Welcome to Dynamite Download, your source for positive coverage of all elite wrestling.
This is what pro wrestling should feel like.
I told you guys, positive energy.
I think that created a little moment in itself.
You're saying I have a better record than Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, and now I'm going to have to wrestle them.
I've never seen someone able to break down like wrestling like he does.
That punk, that long-haired hippie freak.
My real story does connect with a lot of people.
So that you need to be careful in the locker room.
I definitely think that women's wrestling has been elevated.
And with the loss of Brody, I feel like we were just kind of a little bit directionless.
I was like deep diving into like cults.
Raw horse.
Raw horse?
Oh my god!
Amazing.
I had to smack him around a few times to fully gain his respect.
You said that in front of the voice of a generation?
Versus Frank Heath match.
Awesome.
This podcast is quite frankly the drizzling shit, if I'm being quite honest.
The day spread positivity about AEW.
Welcome to Dynamite Download.
Hey. What is up, everyone? It is Steven the Snake rocking a Dynamite Download championship shirt from previous season and SPD.
Yep.
Mine Runner is on assignment, on vacation, but he'll be ready to rock and roll for our recap show on Monday. But we are hot off the presses of an awesome collision and on the heels of Dynasty tomorrow, man. Are you ready for Dynasty, Steven?
Oh, yeah.
You know, when this was starting the first build, like I was like, how is this going to shape out? That's what I like about AEW pay-per-views. Like you try to piece together the puzzles of what you're going to predict of how the pay-per-view is going to look. And with the return of Jericho and what's going on with the Bucks, and then obviously Ospreay's return, and it's a deep pay-per-view with a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm excited for it.
It's going to be hard to balance if they can go one off on the Revolution. It's going to be hard.
Revolution was, to me, almost a perfect show.
Yep.
I know that main event was a little controversy, but I thought it was. I felt like overall the whole show was incredible. I'm a huge surprise guy. I like a surprise return, which I'm crossing my fingers for, of course, for surprises of potential. Some of our season draft teammates have picked a few ones that are quite surprising to me, and I'm like, ooh, I like the way you're going with that. So we'll get into that. I got a lot of everyone's picks for the draft, so we'll be going definitely through that. I don't have the coins that Mind Runner does. He's the magic coin man, so I'll just be writing them down the old-fashioned way. Wait, hold on. You know what, Steven? You know what happens when you join the show on Saturday night? You know what happens? You just made the list.
Yep.
Oh, what did you think? Were you a big list guy? Did you like that gimmick for Jericho?
Oh, I love it. I'm glad it's back.
The list to me is one of the funniest things out there. Like wrestling is all about that you throw in the comedy and the over the top cheesy stuff. I mean, the scissor me daddy ass thing, it's so stupid, but I loved it. I bought a scissor me daddy ass shirt. But when Jericho was doing the list stuff in WWE, and it just was so funny. So I really, really hope that he continues to do that. The list of Jericho here in AEW. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, man! I popped out loud. I definitely popped out loud. But Collision, real quick, coming off a great 2-hour Collision. Selfishly, I don't necessarily always tune into taped Collisions. I kind of know ahead of time. They'll announce if they're just to me personally. I don't know. What about you? Do you think they feel different when they're live or taped? Can you tell a difference as a fan?
It depends on the card, because some of them's already wrestled once already on Dynamite.
Right.
Well, Lord have mercy. I feel Marina and Alex has got to be wore out. They got into a brawl before Dynamite, and then
That's
they
true.
wrestled in the main event, and now they wrestle Collision like 3 times.
Yeah.
They're really oxygen.
A few weeks ago, I think Kevin Knight Hangman I know had 2 matches. When they lost the trios belts, Kevin Knight had 2 matches, and then Hangman had 2 matches, but one of them was a squash. Kevin Knight fought MJF, and then he had that trios match. So, like, I mean, I'm not a wrestler, but I've played 2 hockey games in one day, and it is challenging. That's for sure. But Collision, what match stood out to you the most tonight?
The trios match opening the show.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you heard on our show, I think it was last week or the week before, but I was traveling for work and I saw Gabe Kidd at the airport in Detroit, and I walked by him and I was like, oh, that looks like Gabe Kidd. And then I was like, I had to like kind of scroll through my Instagram and like look to just do tattoo verification, and I was like, yep, sure enough, it's him. And I didn't go up to him using it with his headphones on and, mind his own business. But I was like, yep, there's Gabe Kidd on his way to wherever he was going. And it seemed like he was going overseas, because that was just before that whole spot where he was beating everyone up at New Japan. Then again, you can lay down. It's okay. He's scratching at the door. But, man, Dynasty, I just want to throw this up. Side-by-side comparison of last year's card versus this year's card. Do you feel like where we're at in AEW, it's a huge improvement? Or, I mean, last year's Dynasty was pretty sweet. I mean, looking at this card from the left and to the right, I mean, this is, Jericho dropped the title to Bandito a year ago, and he's been gone for almost time, and now he's making his return here on Dynasty this year. But looking at that card to the left, to the right, and it's pretty impressive. Look at that. Cope was teaming with FTR. Ospreay was versus Kevin Knight. We don't, Mercedes Moné, Tony Storm. Like, it's fun to see the evolution of AEW. But looking at the card for tomorrow's show, what are your top 2 matches you're looking forward to the most for both wrestling and storyline purposes?
Definitely looking forward to Mox versus Ospreay. That's the number 1. And
number 1 for you, that one?
Yeah. And number 2, I think Tekla and Jamie Hayter, because they're going to be very stiff fighting one another. They'd be stiff.
They're definitely going to be stiff. Like this match to me kind of came a little out of nowhere in a sense, like with the short build. And we've talked about on our show for a while. Like Tekla has been an awesome champ, and I'm glad she is champ. However, like I feel like she's kind of running dry of some formidable like opponents that we think can take her down. Jamie Hayter's no pushover. I mean, she took down Thunder Rosa, former champ. She's up against Jamie Hayter, former champ. We were wanting her to have feud with Tony Storm, which maybe that was the plan originally before she got put on the shelf, which would have been great. But yeah, I mean, Courtney saying El Idolo, FTR, Cope and Cage, like there's a lot. This is going to be this is a marathon show, and we got to pace ourselves, and there's no weak links on this one. And they just announced 3 new matches, 1 for the main card and 2 for the pre-show 0 hour. So 0 hour, they got Jack Perry versus Mark Davis, and they have Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir, and then they have the Divine Dominion versus Maya World, and then they added to the main card Dogs, the new trios champs, to the conglomeration plus a mystery member of the conglomeration. Now, do you think that's going to be actually, you know what? Let's just dive into wrong button. Let's dive into the card itself. Like, let me go to let's start with the pre-show. I didn't put the Jack Perry one on here, but first and foremost, 0 hour, hot off the presses, main event of Collision was the tag team women's match. So Windsor versus Shafir. What is your predictions, and like what do you think? Is this going to start the rise of a run for Marina, or is she just going to take another L?
I think Marina's going to win this match.
Yeah,
because I think she's going to be pushed for Willow's TBS title.
We got for Shafir. I'm with you with the Shafir. I didn't think about the Willow's title. Same thing. I feel like Willow's kind of running a little bit dry of opponents, and I think it's a little risky for them to put her against 2 returning baby faces and just beat them both. Like Shida and Queen Aminata are huge parts of the women's division. And for them to return from injury or wherever they may have been is a huge boost for the women's division. However, like then you have hot babyface Willow versus these 2 baby faces, then it's like you're already making them take a quick L. I didn't like that part about it. I'm so happy they're back, but I feel like tonight little seeds are planted. Like, do you think heel Sheeta's coming?
Yep, I really do believe that. I think Sheeta and Statlander is going to get into a feud.
I'm here for that for sure. I'm here for that. I think the heels. I mean, we got a handful of heels. We got heel tag team champs. We got a heel world champ. I feel like, but Sheeta would just be a kind of a different kind of heel in the division. And then I feel like Mercedes, when she does return, she's going to eventually turn babyface. So this one, we got Alex Windsor pick Bobby. Let's see, who am I missing? Court, who you got on this one? I got so picks for this one. I'm going to pick Shafir because I think she needs the win more than anything.
Yeah,
I know Windsor's a champ in is that New Japan belt she's got?
Yeah, she's got one of them New Japan strong titles.
So I think it would be kind of a shocking win because of that situation. But I feel like Shafir needs this win more than Windsor does, because the bigger picture is Windsor versus Hayter going for the tag team titles. So Windsor, the Mindrunner household is in lockstep for Windsor. We got Crayfish, Mindrunner, Windsor, Shafir for Full Tilt Deb, you Steven Shafir, Windsor Bobby, Windsor Brent, Shafir Ranger Man, Shafir ALW, and I hate to say Mother's Milk is winning. And then Court is going to pick Shafir too. This is pretty split. You know, a lot of times for 0 Hour, we're kind of like, it's almost like gimme matches, like for our bingo card, like we're all kind of like picking the same, but this is a pretty split one.
The only reason I picked Marina is Windsor's been getting the momentum during this feud.
True.
And Marina's going to break it. So.
Welcome, Ranger Man. I hear you, man. I don't even want to actually say these words, but you talking about crying in the corner. My team, the Detroit Red Wings, are officially eliminated from the playoffs. So it was
as a wet hornet.
I cried for the last 2 hours.
They're going to fire their coach, I bet you.
Something's got to change in Hockey Town, and you can't be called Hockey Town if you're missing playoffs.
SPD.
Well, yeah,
we'll have a first round pick. They traded on the trading deadline for that Minnesota player,
or the defense Justin Falk.
Yep.
Well, at least he'll be signed through next year, at least. And I like the way he's played. Anyways. I'm depressed, very depressed on that.
Same
Next
here,
0 Hour match. Speaking of the women's, the tag team champions are defending against Hyan and Maya World, and another new match that was announced tonight. And of course, I mean, I feel like this is going to be a clean DD for not for Dynamite Download, but Divine Dominion, but also the DD sweep across the board for this one.
For the first time tonight so far.
Yeah, exactly. It's for Divine Dominion across the board. If you think Hyan and Maya World are going to dethrone them at 0 Hour, by all means, good luck with that upset pick. You know, nothing against them, but I feel like
don't get me wrong, they're up and coming team.
Agree, 100%. Yes, they may be champs one day, but there's no one slowing down the train of the Divine Dominion at the moment, in my opinion.
Yep.
So Bobby's picking DD. I'm picking it. I feel like everyone's going to be picking.
Hey, SPD, give me a moment or two, real quick.
You got it.
You give me a minute.
All right. In the meantime, folks, SPD is going to be holding it down. So it's going to be a squash match, Divine Dominion. Who's your team, Court? Yeah, who is your team, Court? What is I know you're a big NASCAR fan, but what are your sports teams? Anyway, the Divine Dominion, they are going to be FTR Kobe. Sorry, I'm responding to the comments as well. They're going to be champs for a while, and I think that they may get the Brawling Birds at Double or Nothing. Or they're going to have the Brawling Birds kind of keep their distance from the tag team titles till All In, because I think that is the money feud, is Divine Dominion versus the Brawling Birds at All In. We're quickly approaching, we're in the springtime right now, but we're quickly approaching summer and the All In season. And we have one match announced already for Double or Nothing, which is at the end of May, which is Okada versus Takeshi for the International Championship. So very, very exciting stuff for that. Now, for this one, folks, in the chat, this is a completely split one, and it's a crapshoot because we only have two contestants, two wrestlers announced for this after what we saw on Dynamite and Collision. So we got number one entrant Tommaso Ciampa, former TNT champ, and number two entrant Roosh. But this could be anywhere from a dozen to 10 to 5 to 2 to 20 different wrestlers in this match. Now, who do you think is going to win this one? I'm looking for Bobby and Court's picks, because I got Brent's. So this is a fun one. Brent and Crayfish both picked Wardlow, and I absolutely love that one. And Court, you are on it right there. I think, if not now, then when do you bring the Switchblade back? This would be a perfect time to bring the Switchblade, not only because it seems like he's been waiting to come back, it seems like he's healthy enough to come back, but on top of that, for Switchblade to come back would be perfect. But on top of that, we learn that Colton Gunn is clear to return. So if Switchblade does come back to win this, then I feel like we're going to get a full, healthy Bang Bang Gang, and then that would be a lot of fun. Who's your pick, Steven, to win this? Okay, I got to say I picked Ciampa, but I'm changing mine to Jay White as well. I just love that. I fantasy. I want to pick it. Bobby's picking Kyle O'Reilly. We got Crayfish and Ranger Man picking or Crayfish and Brent picking Wardlow. Ranger Man's picking Kyle O'Reilly. Aaron Loves Wrestling is picking Brody King. Courtney picking Switchblade. It's all over the place. That's what's fun about this one.
Yeah. Well, I think we haven't got to the trios mystery partner thing, but I know it ain't gonna be. I don't think Briscoe's gonna be in this match, but shoot.
I know
the safe bet is Ciampa,
right?
Kyle O'Reilly, hometown boy.
True. I know. That's what's so fun about these matches. Unfortunately, Kyle Fletcher got hurt, but it benefits to have this kind of fun match, because I just wish it would also be a ladder match. That would be like such a casino gauntlet ladder match. How fun would that be?
How many wrestlers are in this match?
It doesn't matter. You never know. It's not like a Royal Rumble, so it could end. They always say it could end at any time. It could end with the first two. That's why getting number one and number two is so important. It can end with 5. It could end with a dozen. It can end with 20. And if you remember in the past, Ospreay won, I think, 2 or 3 of these in a row. And they kept saying, "Oh, there was wrestlers in the back waiting to come out on there." So a lot of fun this match is going to be. But yeah, it's all over the place, man. I just want, as much as Ciampa's run was short, and I would love to see him have another shake at it, I'm ready for a fresh face to get the TNT champion. If Wardlow returns and wins, that would be amazing. If Jay White returns and wins, that'd be amazing too. And then a full, healthy Bang Bang Gang coming at you. The Collision Cowboys would be back better than ever. Oh, man. I got to switch. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a tough pick. I'm sorry. Got me.
I know. We can come back to you on this one, Steven.
Let me think real quick. I know if Briscoe is in the trios match with Orange.
Yeah, we don't know who's going to be in the trios match.
Yeah, that's what got me, threw off here. But I'm going to pick Ciampa.
Okay, Ciampa. I think Ciampa's a safe bet.
I'm picking Ciampa.
Gotten everyone's bingo card picks on that one. All right, speaking of trios match, this one I just announced. Well, we got a new trios champs, the Dogs. I think this was. I know they're very fresh in AEW, but I feel like this is almost long overdue to have a trios champ. of true kind of brotherhood guys, true trios. You know, we had people thrown together, the Jet Set Rodeo, we had Jet Speed and Mystico, we had the Don Callis family, even the Ops kind of, you know, a group that was formed and was a trios, but barely kind of defended. But this is like a true trios. You know, think of like same thing, the Bang Bang Gang or others, like even the Conglomeration. I wouldn't consider them true trios. I would consider them a group. But the Dogs are true trios, and they are barking, and they are going to be holding those titles for a while, in my opinion, and going to be tough to dethrone. They are very, very, very physical and a lot of fun to watch, man.
Yeah, we're waiting
Welcome
for
to AEW. We're the best wrestle, and I love that Gabe Kidd is going all over the world, and now Team AEW and talking smack for AEW. But even with the returning Kyle O'Reilly, returning Mark Briscoe, you can't dethrone the Dogs this quick. I'm going Dogs.
I'm going Dogs too, but Dogs will hold those trios titles. We're waiting for a long way to the Bang Bang Gang versus the Dogs.
There we go.
You know,
Bobby's got Dogs pick. We got Steven Dogs pick. FTD pick the Conglomeration. Ranger Man, what are you picking for? I got to switch to Kylo. Going to be the trio's partner. Okay, I see what you mean. I know, man. This is I think this is an unexpected one that's gonna be a lot of fun. So, Ranger Man, send us your pick. Send me your pick on this one. Next match. What are you gonna say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, Kyle O'Reilly would be an awesome return, huge pop, and it would just be. I love returns and then getting a victory, but it just makes sense for Dogs to continue their dominance.
Mm-hmm.
They're the DD, dominant Dogs. Jericho. No more hi, guys. You know, we didn't get a chance to talk to you about this one. I mean, Stephen the Brain, you know, not just Stephen the Snake, but Stephen the Brain. How do you feel about the Jericho return?
I'm fine with it, but my beef is, what is there left to do?
You could continue to say that, and he does so much all the time. I mean, he doesn't selflessly. I loved how he was like, I could be on the opener, I could be the mid card, I could be in the main event. I'm just here to uplift the product essentially and uplift others, and it's great. Like, it seems like he's done that from day one, and he's going to continue to do that. Like, you're only as good as the person across the ring who can sell for you, who can, you know, make the match more meaningful. And Jericho has always done that. I feel like, you know, I selfishly wanted another week or so of a build to this match, because I feel like Ricochet and Jericho going back and forth would be awesome. Now, on Dynamite Download on Thursday, AEW kind of came up with a great idea. We're trying to figure out like who would, if like the Demand came out, and who would help save Jericho. What would you think if the Outrunners joined forces with Jericho?
Oh man, I was getting ready to say Jericho Kyle looks like Dalton Castle's dad.
Actually, yeah.
But I'm going to pick Jericho. I think Ricochet's still getting punished for what he did in the past here.
The thing is, with punishment or not, Ricochet can take losses and still be awesome because he's that good.
Yeah.
With his selling, his promo work. Jericho Runners versus, Jericho Runners. And I feel like Jericho Runners versus the Demand. Why not?
Only thing that I'm concerned with Jericho is, can he keep up with Ricochet? And number two, the ring rust. He has been wrestling in, over a year?
It's been almost a full year, yeah.
So,
but I trust Jericho, and Jericho I trust. I mean, the guy's been around for, decades and decades and decades. You know, he's been training secretly at home or wherever, at the somewhere. But I got Jericho. Everyone's got Jericho. Court, are you going Jericho? I think she's going to go Jericho because she's talking smack about Ricochet right here in the chat.
No, aha tonight.
Aha.
Yeah. Oh, she said yes.
She's going Jericho?
I guess, yeah. She said
All
yes
right.
to that.
That one is our first clean sweep. Well, other than the Divine Dominion. I mean, I haven't got everyone's. And FTD picked Conglomeration. So continuing on the main card, Darby versus Andrade. This is interesting. What are your thoughts on this one?
It's going to be a good match. It's going to see how many Darby death counts we're going to have tomorrow night. But, oh, by the way, did you know that woman was Andrade on Wednesday night at Dynamite? You know who she is?
Mind inform me. Some artist?
She was an artist. She's the one who made those paintings for Don Callis.
Great art. Great pieces of artwork.
Yep.
Yeah, that was I did not know that, and mine was informing me on Wednesday or on Thursday on our show, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool. Good for her. I'll have to check out some of her artwork." I think I'm with you on this one, Ranger Man. That Andrade is on such a tear as of late, and I just feel like he's championship material, and I don't feel like Darby is at the moment.
I don't think Darby's ready.
What makes you think that?
I just don't think. Come on, I just don't see him as world champion. To be honest with you, as the face of the company, just tell you flat out.
On our show, Mind and I talked about almost. I don't mean this in like a bad way. I feel like not Darby fatigue, but Darby match fatigue in terms of it's just hard to watch the abuse taken by one human being sometimes. And it's a consistent thing. Like I like him being the underdog, being the, root for him and, coming back and like, but it just at some point, it almost feels like bullying within wrestling where it's like, you're toying with this person so much. And it's like, it's not fun for me to watch him get beat up this hard, get his neck whiplash this hard, get thrown through this. Like, it's pick your spots, not every single match. And if he ever were to become world champ, you cannot have a world champ that gets thrown around like that. Crash Test Dummy Darby cannot be a world champ when he's fighting matches like that. That being said, like, I don't know what other kind of matches he could fight. That's
what if he gets injured if he has a world title?
Yeah. Well, it's tough. I'm picking Darby because I feel like they've already planted the seed for Darby to be the number one contender. They've already kind of going that route as much as Andrade deserves it, but they didn't announce that the winner is the number one contender. They just said if Darby wins. They've been so focused on Darby with this one versus Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you picking?
The Crash Test Dummy.
Yeah. And that's okay because then you can kind of, if without spoiling, I guess, our picks, like whoever is the champ after tomorrow, then they go through Darby, essentially a pillar of AEW.
Well, it really kind of gave it away, though. If you remember 2 weeks to a month ago, MJF gave money to Don Callis,
right,
for to take Darby out. So it really does kind of take it away, the match.
Right.
So,
world champion Tekla versus Jamie Hayter, former world champ. Who's coming out with the belt?
Can't go wrong with the Toxic Spider. I'm picking Tekla.
I'm picking Tekla too. Do you feel like her run is still kind of in her infancy, or how much longer do you think she's going to hold that belt?
I think she's going to have a lengthy run.
I think she needs to, and I feel like there's not a lot of other opponents ready to step up and dethrone her.
I think we're going to have
the TBS title more. What was that?
I think we might have a certain somebody making her return after the match.
This one?
Apparently, yes.
Babyface Mercedes Moné returning after she lost all of her belts and helped every single promotion. She's no belts Monet. I think it would be time. I think they would definitely cheer her.
I don't know
She
if they'll
ran-
bring back DMD, Brent Wise. That's another one.
We talked a little bit about that on Thursday. I feel like she deserves one more chance. I feel like DMD deserves one more chance to come back.
I tell you another good one. If she would get rid of the women's title from Ring of Honor, give me Tekla versus Athena.
I know. So that's the thing. It's like as soon as Toni Storm went down, it's like bring in your ace, Athena. Bring her in, whether it be to challenge for TBS or the world title. Like now the spot is out for the taking, and let Athena take that spot. Yes.
Because since Tony left, injury and all that, but
yeah.
It's been down a little bit downhill a little bit in the women's division.
Yeah, I agree. And having that's a slight downhill. That's a small downhill because I still think it's a very strong division right now. And with the return of Shida and the return of Queen Aminata is going to help out a lot. And then soon enough, Mercedes going to come back and really help elevate it even more. So this is everyone's picking Tekla except Aaron has got Hayter. What about you, Court? Are you picking Tekla or Hayter for the championship coming
About
out?
Hayter, though, I think the Brawling Birds is going to get the tag titles at All In. So
yeah, I think that's the money. I don't think it's for the world title at the moment for Hayter. I think the tag titles with the Brawling Birds they're building them as a true tag team, and so I think keep building that for a while and keep them a little separated and planting seeds eventually, and then capitalize that at All In.
When is All In? My bad asking.
All In's the end of August.
Oh, hope they get married. Hope they get married by then, Alex and Will.
I thought it said June or something like that. Maybe.
I know Will's gonna miss New Japan's Dominion for the wedding, so
it's all right. There'll be more shows.
Yeah.
And he needs to take a honeymoon, unlike MJF didn't take one. Osprey versus Mox, man. I keep going back and forth with this one. Whew. This is your number one match you're looking forward to. Why?
Oh, the styles. The different styles.
It's so different.
Yep.
But what do you think? Osprey return, looking for redemption, looking for revenge. And this is his chance, one-on-one revenge. Is he going to get it?
I don't think 20 minutes is going to be enough.
You think a draw?
I think it's going to be a draw, and I think they'll drag it out for no time limit at Double or Nothing.
Wow. You know what? I almost thought I didn't even think about the time limit on this one.
20-minute time limit. I don't think it's not going to be enough with these two.
You know what? I think that's a safe bet because I feel like Moxley needs this belt right now, and he's doing great stuff with this belt. I feel like Osprey does not need this belt at all because I want him to be in the world title picture. And I feel like having that belt would be more of a distraction and more of a side thing to kind of stay away from the world title picture. We want Osprey. Well, maybe you do too. Hopefully everyone does. Osprey to main event All In and win the world title. Like that will be his moment to shine. And so whether that be Kenny be the champ or MJF be the champ, like when he's done with this Death Rider stuff, he should be main eventing All In and be the world title. Maybe is he going to win the Owen? Maybe he'll win the Owen to get that opportunity. I'm picking Osprey because if he doesn't get his redemption versus Moxley now, then win. Moxley quote unquote put him on the shelf for this neck injury, and then now he has a chance one-on-one. But I didn't even think of the draw aspect because 20 minutes is a short time for two huge guys like this to wrestle. Mm-hmm. So do they revisit with a no time limit like they did with Takesha? Possibly. Or do they just kind of shift gears and then do an Anarchy in the Arena where United Empire and Osprey stand tall over the Death Riders, and that's kind of your redemption. And he puts Moxley out and he pins him 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring. Tiger Driver 93, And that's kind of like boom at Double or Nothing, Anarchy in the Arena. He takes out Mox, hurts him, even though Mox still has the title, but he is victorious, kind of closed that chapter, but at the same time, now he can shift his gears towards a world title picture.
Yes, Courtney, everyone's banned from the ring for that match for the 20-minute time limit.
Yeah, that's the Continental rules.
Yep. But, yeah, if they do no time limit Double or Nothing, that's going to be a potential match of the year.
Yeah, agree.
So.
Well, if you had to pick, I guess if you're picking a draw, that counts as a win for a bingo card.
Yeah.
You're picking draw?
I pick a draw.
You know what? I'm shifting mine to draw too.
I really believe it's going to be a draw because, like I said, 20 minutes is not enough with these two.
I see a draw too. So Bobby's picking draw as well. So we have 3 draws. What do you got, Courtney? Who are you picking? Moxley, Ospreay, or draw?
She said she picked Ospreay. I've seen it earlier in the chat.
Ospreay, okay.
Yeah,
well, I had Ospreay, but then I thought of this whole draw. You convinced me. You sold me on the draw, Steven.
And I think it's no time limit, Double or Nothing. Drag it out.
Would you rather have that, or would you rather have Anarchy in the Arena?
I don't think they'll have room to have Anarchy. They're going to be in a tennis court.
I've been there. Well, I used to live in Queens, but I did. They'll find a way. They found a way in the Philly arenas to climb on the things and have hardcore.
Well, they're going to use one of them tennis ball machines.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
In the nuts.
Yeah, I like it. Book that. Now you're talking. Now you're getting creative. 2 tag team matches for the men's division at Dynasty. Let's start with Bucks versus Okada and Takeshita. We already know that Okada and Takeshita are going toe-to-toe at Double or Nothing. First match officially announced for the international title. Are they going to be able to have enough cohesion to finish this match, or is it just going to be too much for these two alphas per se, quote unquote?
Nope. I think Okada walks out on them. And I think Bucks going to win.
Okada, I mean, you got it with the heel kind of stuff you're going to be doing. Okada, they have a good – I feel like they're going to give us a great match, and then the last 10%, you're going to get the screw it, you're on your own, 2-on-1, it's over. So you're picking Bucks?
Yep, I'm picking the Young Bucks.
The only person right now who has picked Okada and Takeshita is Crayfish. Yeah.
If they're going to do this.
I'm curious, this kind of – I don't think these 4 have shared a ring together, just them 4. So I think it's going to be very – I mean, at what we saw on Collision with Clone Hechicero, and this is just another step up with amazing wrestlers in Takeshita and Okada. Like, I'm here for it. And Bucks have been doing banger after banger after banger on that. Yeah, I feel like TLC – I know. I would love to see a TLC.
I got to feel it's going to be a 3-way TLC at Double or Nothing.
You think at Double or Nothing, or longer at All In?
FDR, Bucks, and Cope and Cage.
And then Cope and Cage retain? Or they win it there?
No, I got a feeling the Bucks will get the tag titles at Double or Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Because you got to keep the Bucks strong. I'm picking the Bucks.
You're picking the Bucks here?
Yeah.
You have to keep the Bucks strong. They have been the backbone of the tag division from day one. And they are currently the backbone of the tag division resurgence, in my opinion, over the last 6 or so months. And have OG Bucks back is incredible. Like, every one of their matches is just so fun to watch. That being said, like, the trajectory, I feel like I see Bucks winning here and still kind of be, momentum and all that. But I think Cage and Cope, if not now, then win. If they're ever going to win the world title tag team champs again, I think this is their chance. And then FTR maybe beats them down, or still try to stay relevant and get their titles back, asking for the rematch. And then the Bucks are like, well, we're number 1 contenders now. We deserve the next shot. And then that turns into a TLC at Double or Nothing. And I feel like if they did a TLC at Double or Nothing, you got to have Cope and Cage win that. That's the match that they created. And then you build to Cope and Cage versus Bucks 1-on-1 at All In, kind of the OG tag team passing the torch to the Young Bucks.
The reason I'm picking Young Bucks for the 3-way because they're better shape. but for the tag title match, my brain thinks FTR is going to retain, and my heart thinks Cage and Cope. But I wouldn't rule out Trent and Rocky might get involved since they, so.
The only reason if they pick Bobby's picking FTR, if FTR wins, then you drag it out to Double or Nothing to the TLC.
That's
and
what
then
I'm
have
thinking.
them win the titles at TLC / Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're not going to win it here, they're winning at Double or Nothing. In my opinion, they have to win it.
I don't know if they'll get out of Vancouver alive. If they
FTR, yeah, I don't know about that.
That's the thing, but
this is. Well, I mean, I think this was the first match announced for Dynasty, and I think that was
the very first match they announced.
And at the time, I was like, "This could main event the show. This should main event the show." But obviously, that MJF and Kenny Omega kind of really catapulted ahead of that because being the world title, but also the way they built the feud. It's so fun. So you're picking. Who are you picking?
Oh, what the heck! Let's pick the Cope and Cage. I'm picking Cope and Cage.
Mindrunner and Bobby are the only two picking FTR. Court, does that mean you're picking Cope and Cage with the Edge and Christian 5-second pose? Yeah, she's got him. This is definitely my top 3 match, or both of these. I love tag team wrestling, especially with the Bucks.
Oh, the
main event. The devil versus the god of pro wrestling. Man, this is another one. Same with the Osprey Mox, going back and forth. How's the build been for you?
I enjoyed the promos with the both of them. They're a whole lot better than the most promos you watch on WWE.
I don't watch WWE. I can't. It's unwatchable.
It's hard to watch sometimes, but
sometimes
I tried for Mania to
sometimes.
God knows I tried. I was just the card. It just.
I don't want them to fail, but it's just that it's hard. It's too hard to watch. Anyways, I'm an AEW guy, and I'm all in for AEW. Oh gosh, I'm so back and forth with this one.
Same here.
To me, it's a win-win, and by what I mean by that is, if Kenny wins, we're all happy. We're great. Another title run. Push. He's on great shape. He's doing great stuff. He's looking like OG Kenny Omega. Then that could possibly lead to a Kenny Omega Will Ospreay main event All In. Amazing. Yes, sign me up. Take my money. MJF wins. He's doing great stuff. He's elevated the company. He's elevated the title. He's really cemented his legacy with taking down former champs and other things and fun to watch and wanting us to continue to have its face pounded in because of being a heel. So this is a win-win, but it's just so hard to say this out loud that I have to say MJF is going to win.
Yeah, I got my reasons to pick MJF too. Because New York, his home state at Double or Nothing. 1. 2, I got a feeling Swerve is going to cost Kenny.
Does that feud still got a ton of meat on the bone?
I think Swerve's going to cost Kenny the match. And I think they're going to have a match at Double or Nothing, Swerve and Kenny.
So it'd be like Swerve Kenny 3.
Yeah.
Maybe like a dog collar or something.
Something, or some unsanctioned match or something, because I don't think Kenny's going to take more time off. I don't think he's already took some as it is, but
no, and he's in great shape, and I feel like he's doing amazing stuff. And like, I like that because it's ironic that Swerve is not on the card.
That's what I'm thinking. Is the reason he's not on the card.
Okay, he was main event last year.
Yep.
And now he's not on the card, which is fine. You know, you don't have Hangman. Hangman's been MIA for a while too, so since the last pay-per-view. So for MJF to take down Hangman, to take down Kenny Omega, to take down whomever next, maybe the Darby Allin, and then to take down maybe Jericho, it's like you're really establishing him as the guy, which he did in his first run. I feel like he established himself as the guy. But this run of MJF has been, I got to admit, I got to give the props where props are due. He's been fantastic. Great with media, great with promo, great with selling, great with putting people over, and I feel like he's matured so much on this title run 2.0 for him, and for him to continue it. And Mind Runner brought up a great point. It was like, would you rather have? We're just assuming Ospreay is going to main event All In and be the next champ in London. Would you rather have Ospreay beat Omega, or would you rather have Ospreay beat MJF? And I would rather have him beat MJF because that's definitely good versus evil. But pure wrestling, Omega versus Ospreay, sign me up.
Who would you rather have, MJF versus Darby or Kenny versus Darby? That's what I'm thinking. Because
I mean, what are you going to put two of your top baby faces against each other?
If Darby wins tomorrow night.
Yeah,
he's wrestling double or nothing. That's what I'm, thinking right here.
They're in a good situation because if Kenny wins and then Andrade wins, that's a great first feud, and then vice versa. MJF wins, Darby versus Darby. That's another great first feud because MJF taking down more of the core OG AEW guys, being Hangman, Darby, Kenny, and so forth. Oh man, so who you picking?
MJF retains.
Courtney's got Kenny. You got MJF. So I got MJF, Mind Runner, Kenny, Cray, MJF, Full Tilt Deb, Kenny.
And get extra security for MJF and Swerve to get out of Canada alive.
Yeah. You're right. Don't let it be a pilot, though. Did you see that story?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Get Vancouver's finest indie talent to secure MJF. That's where.
What a great card! I'm so excited for this card. The way it's going to be a marathon tomorrow, and you're going to have to buckle up. So Monday night. Since Mind Runner was here, we're going to do a recap show. We're going to do a recap show Monday night, plus an award announcement of who won Season 8 of the draft. And currently, after Collision live results, here is the standing. Brent is clawing back up on my heels right now. Now,
just hope you don't win the 3 points.
See, I won the 3 points last pay-per-view, which was huge because I'd be sitting at 39. A lot of different story. That's how big these are. So 3 points are at stake for the bingo card, and at least, let's see, I would say at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. At least like 15, 16 points are up for grabs for Dynasty, plus the +3. So almost 20 points swing on this one.
Yeah.
We'll announce the winner. We'll have a victory parade with confetti on Monday, plus the recap show. But here's the current standings after post-collision. Look at that. 3-way tie on the right there. All the 22s. 22.
Oh, we got a 3-way tie for last. Aaron, Courtney, and Ranger.
Well, Steven, I remember early in the season you were sitting low there, and then you took a huge jump for a while there. You were cruising. So you and Mind Runner battling it out.
Yeah, Ciampa helped me out a little bit.
Yeah,
in the books.
That +2 is good. So also we will announce on Monday at the recap show when we're going to do next season's draft. and want to get that going. We're going to get that going ASAP because that's going to run through
All In.
That's going to run through All In.
It's going to be a very interesting draft.
I know, especially with Fletcher hurt,
No
Hangman
Tony.
MIA, and who else? Tony gone.
Yeah.
Right. You're right about that. Y'all, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Steven, for jumping in. I'm glad you reached out because we weren't going to do a preview show because Mind Runner is on vacation. He's visiting family, and I was like, shoot, I'm free. I was planning it and get it going.
Yep.
Get it going on there. I got everyone's bingo card picks. If I miss anyone, I'll reach out on Instagram or Twitter for us there that are in the draft. But you guys have a great night. Get some rest. Buckle up. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long night tomorrow night on Sunday night.
Dynasty.
Yeah, it's Dynasty. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Have you seen our new outro / intro with Jericho, Steven?
Yeah.
Mind Runner did a great job. Y'all, thank you for joining the chat. We'll see you on Monday and Thursday next week. Enjoy Dynasty. It's going to be a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Beautiful on the inside, you are innocence personified, and I will drag you down and sell you out.